what is the best rangefinder on the market today? Just how much should you spend on your golf rangefinder, and what hidden features could a rangefinder feature? Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson. In today's video, we're going to have a look at the brand new Malsi Genie Pro S1 rangefinder. This thing has slope, it has coach mode, it has so many hidden features to potentially help you play some better golf. It even reads the greens for you. Imagine that. Let's go and test it and see if it's way better than the PF1 rangefinder, which I absolutely love. I love the simplicity, I love the price, but how much better could the top of the range rangefinder really be? Yes guys, I'm mega excited to finally get my hands on Malsi's premium and most expensive rangefinder, the Genie Pro S1. Today we're putting it through its paces during one of our filming episodes of the Next 100 tour. So we're putting it to the test where it counts, and I'm going to see just potentially how some of its special features could help us lower our scores, and if it's worth the money for you guys to potentially invest in.
Safe as houses.
So some of the fantastic features that I quite like about this Genie Pro S1 are the simple features. So you can see now we're getting to the end of the round and the daylight's dropping just a little bit. So if I look at this par 4, I might want to use the point-to-point measurement which we discussed earlier, where I can simply just press the top button and cycle through the options a couple of times, and then I know that if I go from the start of the fairway I have 225 yards, and then if I go to the top of the fairway I have 310 yards. So I know it's quite a big area there. I can also scan it from left to right if I want, and I can go point to point. But when the daylight's dropping just a little bit, I can actually press this side button here if I've got the correct mode on, and I can then turn that into the red display. So say if it's a little bit misty, say if it's an early morning. Back home in the UK, if you are playing it when the sun's going down, just like now, you can turn on that kind of red light and it works really well for you to see where you're going. You can see there 139 playing 144, even with a shaky hand. Really impressive stuff, as opposed to if I have that on the black display, you can see you can't quite see it just as clear, in my opinion. Or late evening like now, that red display does just look a lot clearer. It can stop you reading the wrong numbers, which some rangefinders you do tend to do, especially in bad light. You can also put the smart filtering feature on, and that reduces raindrops and fog to stop you getting the wrong reading. So it could potentially switch standardly if you have it in that kind of AI driven mode, which is a fantastic way, and this is one of the only rangefinders to feature AI technology. So as we said, we have quite a big window to hit driver, so we shall do so. I'm going to start up the left, Chris, and just let it fade.
I like it.
And that should... Oh, is that going too far? Might just be okay. It doesn't hit it for you, unfortunately. Nice. And that, ladies and gents, is how you hit that shot.
With a cowbell.
That's a great shot. Right guys, as you can see, a rather difficult hole, dog legs all to the left, trouble left and right. So we're going to use the Malsi Genie Pro S1, and I'm going to point-to-point measure. So from the start of the fairway here, we have 214, and right the way up to that CCTV tower, it's 313, so we have 101.9 yards of landing there. Ooh. So realistically, Chris, if we can hit it just to the right of the CCTV tower, that gives us loads of room to try and get driver there.
Perfect.
Nice to know, isn't it?
Like your work.
Oh dear. It was a charmed life.
That is the end. One.
How safe do you want me to go?
I think you've got to go
150 marker?
Yeah, back between those two actually. Yeah, safe as houses.
Just don't be long. Oh,
Great
stop it.
Shot.
Stop it.
To the beverage cart.
Okay, so other features of technology that it does feature, it does obviously have that kind of bottom bite magnet effect, which I quite like, although you have to be really careful not to leave it there at the end of the round. I've actually lost quite a few rangefinders like that, so I wouldn't entirely recommend using it. But if you like have your own trolley or something like that, it could be a really good method of doing so. Did you just nearly break your ankle there? No. That was a very strange movement you did, but you can see it does feature slope as well. So the slope technology is here, you can move it, so it's the silver slope, and the slope isn't on in that method there, and it's nice to know that people aren't cheating in competitions because it's bright red at the top. So I can tell you with the slopes, nothing new that people have seen on rangefinders. I sometimes wonder just how kind of consistent slope is on some rangefinders, but I feel like this is pretty good. So into this par 5, we have 195 yards, playing 205 yards. So we've got 10 yards of uphill slope, and that's measuring at 3%. So it kind of gives you all the information that you do need. It does have that really nice kind of flag lock system on there as well. So it really does kind of give you that nice vibration when you do lock on the flag, so you know you've got it. So you get that? It's like, yes, you've got it. Done.
Nice cutty one. Just like that.
How good did that sound?
It sounded delightful.
So guys, one of the really fantastic features I like about this brand new Malsi Genie Pro S1 rangefinder is it has a green mode, so it can help you read the greens if you struggle. So you can see here we have quite an obvious downhill putt. Now, a lot of people will be able to see this, will be able to work it out for themselves, but if you're new to golf and you're kind of working out just how to read greens, just what slopes actually mean, then this could be a fantastic option for you. Now, I've used this quite a lot whilst we're out here in Portugal, and I've really enjoyed it. So all you have to do, it's quite simple, because I was worried that this was going to be really difficult to use, but as soon as you kind of do get the hang of it, I would recommend you take it out for practice rounds first, and I'd actually recommend you don't do this in tournament play, because it's not the quickest of things to do, but certainly if you're in a practice round or if you're going to try and improve your green reading, it could be a fantastic option for you. So if I want to cycle off from the standard mode, all I want to do is press this button here. Sorry, Bobby, I've sold you a dummy there, haven't I? Press this button here a couple of times. It changes to a green shape with a flag in it. So from here, if I've got AI generation mode on, that will tell me not only how, obviously I want to stand at the ball, which would help, don't stand further away from it. So I'm going to stand right at my ball here, and I'm just going to zap that hole, and that hole is measuring 45 feet away. So I've got 45 feet, but also if I have AI mode on, it tells me that actually it's playing 18 degrees down. Now 18 degrees is quite a lot, but as you can see, it is quite a huge slope. So that's massively going to help. Generally, if you do struggle with working out what slopes do, to think, right, I need to play this a lot shorter, I actually need to play it more like a 20-footer than a 40-footer. And from there, that can really help me just get better speed on these difficult greens. That's always going to be a difficult putt to get close, but as you can see, we've had a pretty good effort of getting it to around 6 foot and a chance at 2-putting from one of the hardest locations out here on one of the world's most difficult golf courses. Nope, that's a push.
That is a push. I mean, it was positive.
It's gone a long way past. Did you not see it downhill? I should have brought the S1 for you.
You should have.
Just not one you're going to race at it when your partner's gone past. I'm not trying to have a go at you there, I'm just...
How dare you. Good.
Birdie. So from there, and again, it's nice to test this. Again, you're not going to do this on your golf when you're playing with your friends on a Saturday morning. It's going to be more a practice session, but how far would you say this is, Chris?
17 feet.
It is 18.3 feet, and it is playing 13.5 feet with a 3% slope.
Right.
So if you think about that at 13 feet now, it kind of takes away that. It's actually quite a good device, isn't it, for coaching? Say if you bring it out with a player on a putting green, all of a sudden, you start just shaving the hole as opposed to hitting them quite a long way past. And again, not something I would take out on the Sunday medal on the Saturday Stableford. Certainly something room for thought. You'll see on screen now just really how simple that is to gauge distance, but also gauge a little bit of slope using a rangefinder, which you feel a little bit silly doing, but to be honest, it is a nice little benefit, something nice for your practice, and a nice thing if you are a coach working with beginners to show them how they are perceiving distance and slope. I like it. So to the green, we have 270 yards, which is awfully tempting over the water. However, we have 235 yards to the end of the fairway there. Now, if I want to point it to tell us how far we'd have in from there, I can do, and we'd have 110 yards. So I think it's a chippy driver, isn't it?
Yeah, up the right-hand side.
Travel. I don't know, I've not seen it.
That should be well over. It's a worker.
That's exactly what I was trying to do.
Was it?
Don't do me like that, man.
It was a worker.
Well, I apologise profusely, Chris. Yours was perfect.
Correct, my friend. That is a delightful shot, young Hammers.
It's going to come back down, though.
Oh.
Or just do that. Not bad. I feel like we've played that hole quite well and still got like 30 feet.
Well, it didn't do what I expected it to do.
No.
Come on.
So one of the elements that's featured in the Genie Pro S1 as well is coach mode. So coach mode does allow you to measure the distance from the ball to the pin right from your cart, allowing you to select the club in advance. It also has a feature to measure the distance from the ball to the hole, even if there are bushes and terrain in the way, by going to the side using the point-to-point measurement. We can also measure the distance between 2 points on the golf course, allowing you to manage the golf course in advance. So generally I think that could help you speed up play by getting the right number straight away. And here we have 94, 3% downhill, playing 92.1, Christopher. Be the club. Come back! Ooh. Oh, we've just missed that slope by like an inch. Guys, it's a prime example where knowing your distances can help you massively. Obviously we can't get there because if we do have a look at just how far it is all the way up, we have 292 yards playing uphill. So we're not going to be able to get there at all, but to the shrubbery, just short, we have 199 yards. So we know we want to be short of that. We know then we're going to be left with around 100 yards in, and that's just how generally you can help yourself just by making correct decisions. The Malsey S1 does go up to 650 yards actually, for anyone that thinks that maybe you can hit it like Tim Urban. Nice. Nice. That's a prime example, Chris. Right, prime example. We've got 105 playing 110. So that's exactly what we thought we were going to have left in. So that's great work by Christopher. And I'm just going to chip a little pitching wedge up there. Oh, lovely. That's got to be absolutely on the money. Bobby!
God, he's got his priorities right,
Yeah.
Bob.
What the hell is that? That's disastrous. Okay guys, so let's have a look. We have 125 for the flag. The bushes long are 135 and the villas right at the back are 399. So that clear optic display helping make sure we get the flag, not the apartments, and of course not the bushes. Chris, is it a chippy little mid-iron?
It is.
Oh, that's delightful. Be the number and release left. That's a great shot.
There we go.
Really excited there because I managed to finally get the phone inside the Milesy so you could see it. So just a nice one.
Yeah, my ball. Nice one.
Stay there.
Oh dear.
So good job you're here, Chris, for this back nine.
It is.
So guys, to summarise, which one would I go for? Would I go for the brand new Malsey Genie Pro S1 or would I go for the PF1? Now, I think it totally depends what market you're in. It totally depends on your budget and it depends what you want from your rangefinder, because this has so many fantastic features if you're a golf coach, if you're trying to learn the game yourself, and if you have plenty of time to invest into it, because the green reading mode and some of the coaching mode is fantastic and really useful if you're still learning the game. But I think if you like simplicity, if you're on a little bit more of a budget, still the PF1 is going to be the one to go for. So there's definitely a rangefinder out there for you within that Malsey range. Personally, I have almost left this on the buggy already with the magnetic strip, and I really, really like just how simple the PF1 is. So I think personally I'd still go for the PF1, but again, if you're in the market for a brand new all singing, all dancing rangefinder that does magical things, then make sure you do check out the Genie Pro S1.